7 frequently asked questions when switching vapor degreasing solvents. As regulations continue to change and solvent suppliers come and go, many companies are tasked sourcing viable alternative replacement vapor degreasing solvents. In this blog, we will address some frequently asked questions when switching out solvents in your vapor degreaser equipment. Here are 7 typical questions we are asked when companies are switching vapor degreasing solvents.
Question 1. Can I just drop in the new solvent?
Not all vapor degreasing solvents are created the same, and the traditional chlorinated solvents have different chemistries and boil points than the newer advanced solvents. The idea of dropping in the new solvent usually means a company would like to just add the new solvent into the current bath and get back to part processing. Even if you are switching NPB solvents from one vendor to the next, you might experience differences, as the amount of stabilizers in the base components are different from vendor to vendor. So technically, even if you are switching from one NPB-based solvent to another NPB-based solvent, you might be able to drop in the new solvent and mix it with your old NPB solvent. However, it would be more prudent to finish using the current solvent and do a partial change or full change out before moving into the new NPB solvent, especially if you have a smaller unit. In the case where you are switching from a traditional solvent like TCE, NPB, or methylene chloride to a next-generation solvent like Aerotron AV5408, we recommend draining out as much of the old solvent prior to filling your vapor degreaser with the new modern solvent chemistry and doing a full unit changeout. A partial changeout is where you empty just the boil sump. A full changeout is where you empty the boil sump, the immersion sump, and drain the water separator, spray reserve, and the filtration system in an effort to remove as much of the older solvent as possible. Letting the system dry out over the weekend is also helpful. So a good rule of thumb is, A, if you are switching from an NPB-based solvent to an NPB-based solvent, do a partial change-out after you have ensured that your current bath is properly stabilized using your test kit. B, if you are switching from a TCE-based solvent to a TCE-based solvent, do a partial change-out. Again, test the bath prior adding new solvent. C, if you are going from a TCE-based solvent to an NPB-based solvent, do a full change-out. D, if you're going from an NPB or TCE-based solvent and switching to a modern fluorinated-based solvent, do a full change-out.
Question 2. Do I need to empty the tank of all the solvent?
It would be a best practice to drain all of the solvent from the vapor degreasing unit and subsystems, spray tank, filtration, water separator, and let the unit sit over the weekend to let any remaining solvent evaporate out. This would be considered a full change-out. Then fill the unit with the new solvent. This would ensure that there was no cross-contamination, and part cleaning would commence with quality cleaning assuredness. Some companies even go so far as to do a full change-out and a neutralizing washout prior refilling with the new solvent. This is not always feasible or practical, especially with a very large system using lots of solvent. With that said, if you are going from a TCE-based solvent to an NPB-based solvent, do a full change-out. If you are going from an NPB or TCE-based solvent and going to a modern fluorinated-based solvent, do a full change-out. If you have a very large system and you are switching from one manufacturer's NPB solvent to another NPB-based solvent, there are things you can do to ensure the bath is in good condition prior to adding the new solvent. You will save yourself much headache and expense.
Question 3. What kind of PPE, personal protection equipment, do I need?
Of course, because you are dealing with solvent, proper personal protection equipment, PPE, is needed. Protective eyewear in case of splashing, solvent-resistant gloves to protect hands, and respirator with carbon absorber would be ideal.
Question 4. How do I get rid of or dispose my current solvent?
Disposal of your current solvent is part of the changeover process. For many companies, they use their current waste disposal company and send the drum of used solvent out as waste. If you do not currently have a waste disposal service, contact us at Reliance and we can give you guidance and support.
Question 5. When is the best time to change over?
Many companies change over their solvent during routine maintenance on their vapor degreaser. Others wait until when they do a shutdown, like over a holiday weekend. Otherwise, when you are planning a partial change out or when it is time to add more solvent to your bath would be a good time to switch.
Question 6. Do we need to change the vapor degreaser temperature settings?
Yes, please do not forget to change the temperature settings. If you are moving from one solvent to another, like moving from TCE to NPB, changing the temperature settings is a must. Different solvents have different boil points. TCE boils at 188 Fahrenheit, 87 Celsius. NPB boils at 160 Fahrenheit, 71 Celsius. And our Aerotron AV boils at 116 Fahrenheit, 47 Celsius. For modern vapor degreasing equipment, there are also safety limit control settings that need to be set, so the vapor degreaser turns off when the upper limits are reached. For example, when the solvent boil sump contains 40% oil. Please note, it is important to change the temperature settings. This will ensure your vapor degreaser is operating safely and that solvent is not wasted.
Question 7. Any other considerations or tips?
First, if you have emptied the vapor degreaser as a part of a full changeout, it is worth wiping out and cleaning the bottom of the tank of fines and debris. Second, if your vapor degreaser is empty, it is helpful to clean and wipe down the heating elements as well. Third, make sure to turn on the refrigeration system on prior to refilling the unit. This will help contain the solvent as you are refilling and save solvent. Fourth, before refilling, make sure all drain valves are closed. Next steps. Our Reliance Vapor Degreasing experts are here to help. Contact us at 847-640-8923 or visit relspec.com for a free technical discussion to support your solvent and vapor degreasing questions.